The force is strong with this one. Can you tell I just got Disney Plus? I've been on watching all that Star Wars stuff. Anyways, subscriber suggested video. Gotta show the screen. Damn, let me get it one day. Gotta show the screen. And a friend of mine suggested I watch this. How the universe is bigger than you think. It's 10 minutes, so hang in there with me. To watch YouTube. Nervous. Here we go.
Earth. You live here on this planet somewhere, and everything that you've ever known is located right here. But just how small exactly is Earth when compared to the scale of the entire universe?
It's nothing.
Let's start by zooming out to where we can see our nearest cosmic neighbor, the Moon. You may think that the Moon is very close to Earth since it dominates our night skies, but in reality the Moon isn't this close to our planet, it's actually about this far away. 384,400 kilometers away from you right now on average. You can fit 30 entire Earths in between this distance, and if you somehow were able to drive a car at a constant 100 kilometers per hour speed, it would take you about 160 days to drive the entire distance.
Why would you drive that slow?
Despite this incredible distance, however, 12 humans have actually set foot here, representing the furthest away that any individual human has ever been away from the Earth, and one of humanity's greatest achievements. This is what the Earth would look like from there if you were standing there with them, and if you wanted to communicate with somebody back at home, it would take a message about 2.5 seconds to travel between you and them, since that's how fast the speed of light can travel at. This is a photo that was taken on Mars, and that tiny dot that you see there is Earth as seen from the Martian surface. On average, Mars is an incredible 225 million kilometers away from Earth, but that distance can be as high as 401 million kilometers. That means that whenever humanity finally gets around to landing a human on the planet, that person will be 986 times further away from Earth than the astronauts who landed on the Moon were. In addition, the time delay for sending a message from Mars back to Earth isn't just 2.5 seconds, it's actually more like 20 minutes each direction, which would render instant communication in the event of an emergency impossible. When we zoom out even further away, we can find the Voyager 1 space probe, which is the furthest away man-made object from Earth. It is currently located 138 AUs from the Earth, AU meaning astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which means that Voyager 1 is 138 times further away from us than the Sun is. At some point on its long voyage, Voyager 1 turned its camera around and took this photograph. It may not look like much at first, but in my opinion, this is the greatest single photograph ever taken in all of human history. This tiny, pale blue dot is Earth, and I don't think that anybody has ever said something as amazing about this as Carl Sagan when he said, "If you look at it, you see a dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever lived out their lives. The aggregate of all our joys and sufferings, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and every forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilizations, every king and every peasant, every young couple in love, every hopeful child,
don't forget us,
every mother and every father, every inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Voyager 1 is currently traveling at 17 kilometers every single second, but even at that speed, it won't break out of the reach of our solar system for another 30,000 years. Once we go beyond the solar system, we arrive in our interstellar neighborhood. Here we shift to the light year unit of measurement, which is the distance that light travels in a full Earth year, or about 9.461 trillion kilometers. The star Proxima Centauri here is the closest other star to us other than our Sun, but it's still 4.24 light years away from us. To put that into perspective, if it was heading in the right direction, it would still take Voyager 1 over 70,000 years to reach it. In other words, if you drove your car at 100 kilometers an hour like in our previous example to the moon, it would take over 6 times longer than the entire age of the universe is just to find.
Okay, watching this video, I wonder if my homie thought I was about to be like, so far, no. Let's talk about religion for a sec. I guess Christianity, namely, but on the first day, God said, let there be light, right? If people pray to God, they pray for help with getting a job, getting out of medical difficulties. Like when you get in the IV and it's taking forever, like, oh my God, God, if you do this, oh, I'll stop. Stuff like that. They ask for blessings, prayer, they say grace. They do a lot of earthly praying. Me in particular, I've evolved and grown to the point where I look around and I'm like, okay, people try to separate religion and science, but science came after religion, supposedly, because I mean dinosaurs are here. They weren't fucking around with beakers and triple beams and shit. So, and in regards to religion, I just mean spirituality, God. Okay, if God came first. God basically created science, right? So when I pray, I think universal, like on a universal level. If God made the universe, which is never ending, all this earth shit don't really matter. That was a nasty ass fart. Anyways, it sounded like a fart. Anyways, let's get back to this video and see what they got to talk about. We're only 5 minutes in. Here we go.
Finally get there, and it wouldn't even exist still when you arrived. When we zoom out even further, we can see the entire Milky Way galaxy, inside of which Earth is located
Milky Way
right
galaxy.
here. This yellow dot is the furthest extent of humanity's radio broadcasts throughout history, which means that any possible aliens who live outside of this range are totally unaware of humanity's presence. It's complete silence outside of this yellow dot as far as we are currently aware, but the entire galaxy spans over 100,000 light years from end to end. There are over 100 billion stars and over 100 billion planets inside of our galaxy. But you have never seen the full glory of the galaxy at night, because 99% of the stars that you can see with the naked eye are limited to this small, tiny region right here. The Milky Way galaxy looks like a star blew up. But even this massive galaxy is nothing compared to the rest of what's out there. Zooming out even further, and we arrive at the local group of galaxies, a collection of 54 different galaxies that is about 10 million light years across. But zooming out even further, and we can see the Virgo supercluster.
Bro, this is like for people who have never, people who were born at a hospital, went home, which was like 3 miles away, and have never traveled outside of a 10-mile radius. Now compare that to this. We probably ain't even left the state yet. Shit that person has never seen in their own state. I live in Nevada. I lived here like over 20 years. I don't think I've ever seen a state bird. And I'm sure they about to show. We 5 minutes 38 seconds in. They about to. Oh my God. Let's. It's gonna get bigger. I'm sure.
Of which the local group here is just a tiny segment of. There are at least 100 other groups of galaxies just like our own local group inside of here, and the distance from one side to the other is a mind-numbing 110 million light years. But even the massive Virgo supercluster is
Ain't
nothing
shit.
but a quiet and tiny lobe of the Great Laniakea supercluster, an enormous structure that is home to our galaxy as well as 100,000 other galaxies. The distance from one side to the other is 520 million light years, but from even there we
Look,
can zoom out all the way to the entire observable universe and
Earth
see
is
that
like
even
on
the
a
titanic
cellular level of the
Laniakea
universe.
supercluster is just a
You can look
tiny
at your
and
skin, but you can't see
insignificant
each
part
cell.
of everything. This is the observable universe, and it contains everything that
We're
we
just
know
getting
of.
started.
It is home to at least 2 trillion different and
Observable,
individual
meaning that's as
galaxies,
far as
which
we can
together
see.
contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe
Too
is
far.
46.5 billion light years, which
There's probably
means that the
dinosaurs still
entire
alive
width
somewhere.
is 93 billion light years across. What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe.
We probably
Keep
don't
in
know.
mind that the observable universe is all that we can currently see, and it's entirely possible that the rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine. We
Doctor
simply don't
Strange
know
looking
what
at
else is
shit.
out there because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth. And the light from some places may
So
never
people need to
reach
stop
us
tripping
at
on this
all.
earthly shit.
Because some parts of space very far away from Earth
Why
are
so
expanding
serious?
away from us faster than the speed of light, that means that the light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. Meaning that even if humanity is eternal and exists forever, there will still be an unknown number of places in the universe that we will never know about or ever see. So, it is very likely that as unbelievably enormous as it seems, the observable universe is just a tiny slice of what we can currently see of the entire universe. According to the theory of
Just the
cosmic
cherry on the
inflation that was
milkshake.
proposed by Dr.
Very
Alan
large
Guth,
milkshake.
if it is assumed that cosmic inflation began at 10 to the negative 37th of a second after the Big Bang, and with the assumption that the size of the universe before inflation began was equal to its age times the speed of light, then this would seem to suggest that at the present day, the entire universe is 150 sextillion times larger than the observable universe. That number for reference looks like this, with this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be similar to you thinking that the entire observable universe, everything that you could see, was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto, but we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation
like a
to
Men in
this.
Black.
We are all so
Universe in the
unbelievably
universe.
small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together. This video was made possible by Squarespace.
Not gonna make it. So this video isn't as mind-blowing as it should have been, but I'm that type of person. Sorry, I'm not a simpleton in that aspect. That was just the reality check to anybody that I try to talk to. Why I'm so weird. I'm out of this world, man. And I've never left the United States. And I know that the galaxy and the universe is huge. So, just trying to get it how I live, man. Because, man, I may never get the opportunity. Well, you know what? Hear me out. Everybody dies, right? End up in the ground, your body turns into dirt, bones. I feel like I got a couple more decades left in me, so I'm gonna learn how to astral project. And on my deathbed, I'm just gonna leave my body and I'm gonna go see the fucking universe. You coming with me? Soup.tv. Peace. If you're still watching, look at this background I made like a couple years ago. Just FYI, check that out. Because the universe is way bigger than you thought.